kukuacha, kama kuilamba, kama kuingata, kama kwenye makocha au kwenye kitanda, kwenye unanipa ndo inanibamba. Mimi napenda kudekeza, sipendi kuumia, na hata nikituma message naomba kujibiwa. Iyo michezo unayocheza mwenzangu nitalia, na hata nikitaka mapenzi naomba kupatiwa. Siyawezi, hayo mapenzi siyawezi. Najua uko bize kweli, ila mwenzako ndo siwezi. Ay baby, siyawezi, hayo mapenzi siyawezi. Najua uko bize kweli, ila mwenzako ndo siwezi. Ay baby, siyawezi, hayo mapenzi siyawezi. Najua uko bize kweli, ila mwenzako ndo siwezi. Ay baby, siyawezi, hayo mapenzi siyawezi. Najua uko bize kweli, ila mwenzako ndo siwezi. Ay baby.
Check it. Swahili Pot FM 91.7. Yeah. Hola.
We got London on the track.
I should've known better. Can't even pretend like I don't want it again. On the brain all the time, thinking about the things that we did. You did something like it don't happen too often. It's the way you put it down. Oh, no one else around. Got me taking a step on the wild side, cutting all ties with them other guys. Where you look in my eyes, helping me nice and slow. You made me wanna come through, quarter after two, just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you and me went through. You made me wanna come through, quarter after two, just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you and me went through. Tell you what you made me wanna do. I drop on my for you. Got my feelings running on the news. This ain't what I'm really used to.
You make me for anything happens between us. Be sure you 10 toes down before I pull out this car. And the only thing that's coming beside me at the situation is you waiting and get some more. I told you I'ma take your places. I seen it in your face, and I knew that you would say this. So how you wanna play this? Yeah, you got somebody. I've been in this predicament. Don't trip, creep the screen. That's just what we're dealing with. Come through, quarter after two,
Just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you and me went through. You made me wanna come through, quarter after two, just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you and me went through. You made me wanna do. I drop on my for you. Got my feelings running on the news. This ain't what I'm really used to.
you make me wanna. Hey, what you used to, what did you do? New relationship with you, it's just what you do. Think about it, cut it out. Hisi rumba ya kawaida,
Mambo vipi, Swahili Pod FM 91.7. Jina langu ni Anthony Soul. I hope you're having an amazing day, but also this will make your day better. Tafadhali ukumbuke to big up yourself, always encourage. Ningeomba leo upite pale kwenye bahari uangalie bahari ilivyo kubwa hivyo, realize that opportunity na chances za make it in life pia ziko kubwa hivyo. Kwa hivyo leo ogelea, dig and dive deep and understand that everything you want to achieve is right here with you. Keep listening to Swahili Pod FM 91.7. Coming up next, Nimbo wa boy wale, haturudi nyuma. Je, unarudi nyuma? Sidani.
Bibi hadithi mtamkolea, kwa injili jo mtaelea. Ngoma zetu si zimeenea, juko hii mziki si tumebobea.
Swahili Pod 91.7 FM Mombasa. Let the madness begin. Swahili Pod FM 91.7 Mombasa.
Let the music blast through your stereo.
Wivu ndiye mwenye mapenzi ya kweli kwa mwenzi, lakini pia uvumilivu na vitendo vya kara vilimuumiza. Mwenzio mimi ni mtulivu na kuiba mali ya mtu sijafunza. Una dhambi lawama ulonipa mimi leo na nyuma. Fikira zako ziko vibaya za kudhani ya kwamba ulidemu nilimpenda. Ni kweli nilimpenda, lakini ni kama rafiki wa mtima. Unafanya leo, ikifika kesho tajibu nini kiama? Kwa yale yote mapendo ni kama kioo aliyokupa niliona. Ukatana na kusaliti kutoka pako na kuwa mimi na yeye kutokana na wako wivu ukadiliki kumataji uwe unini wa unatima bigiji makaranga za kuonyeshwa. Najua mwanamke akipenda napenda kweli. Waliobadilisha dini na yote sababu ya kupenda. Hakuna walokimbia hii dunia sababu hiyo kupenda. Yule kupenda sana, mimi najua na mambo mengi umefanya. Testi wangu nilimpenda, umefanya mpaka sasa tajibua. Fikira zako ziko vibaya za kudhani ya kwamba ulidemu nilimpenda. Ni kweli nilimpenda, lakini ni kama rafiki wa mtima. Unafanya leo, ikifika kesho tajibu nini kiama? Kwa yale yote mapendo ni kama kioo aliyokupa niliona. Ukatana na kusaliti kutoka pako na kuamini na yeye kutokana na wako wivu ukadiliki kumataji uwe nini wa unatima bigiji makaranga za kuonyesha.
Ali Kiba there with Mapenzi and Arandunia playing right here on Swahili Pot FM Breakfast Club. I would actually like to dedicate that one to Bilal Uswazi.
Yes.
Anakuanga hopeless romantic sana.
Hujamwambia vizuri.
Extremely like hopeless romantic.
Ukisikia mtu yote akitajwa na uswazi
Uswazi king.
Basi hiyo ndio maana yake.
Yeah. Who's locked in?
Pale Facebook I can see Fadhili Mwakama pale anasema good morning kutoka county 002 maeneo ya Mwananyamala kwa mzee Mwamba. Tuko ndani pamoja hadi mwisho. Thank you so much. We have Kavumbi Babe Kavumbi anasema following live from Eldoret. We have Metros pale anasema sio Kimau. Tuko locked. We have Fosi Mbwana. Good morning guys. Likoni tuko locked. Then we have JJ Ozengo akisema Mariakani Mkilo massive present. Yeah.
Okay, fine kabisa, ndio hivyo bana. Tunaingia hapa sasa kwenye saa hii, ni saa ya pili of course ya the Breakfast Club hapa Swahili Pot FM. Tuko na mgeni hapa ndani ya nyumba ambaye bila shaka tutakuwa tunazungumza mengi kuhusiana na yale ambayo kwamba yako hapa nchini na hususan pia kule kwenye wavumbuzi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, now in studio we have Reverend Canon Chris Kinyanjui Kamau. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Did I get it correct?
Yes, you did it.
All right. Reverend Canon Chris Kinyanjui Kamau. He's the General Secretary of the National Council of Churches of Kenya. And he serves in the University Council as a representative of NCCK. That's correct. Okay. And he is an ordained priest in the Anglican Church of Kenya and serves in the Diocese of Machakos. Do you still serve in the Diocese of Machakos?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Oh, great. Now, besides the ministry, Reverend Canon Kinyanjui is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. He is a seasoned legal counsel and specializes in legislative advocacy, legislative drafting, peace building, ethical governance, accountability, project design, project management, a lot of things, you know. He also serves in the board of directors for various organizations spanning religious bodies and the banking, health, and development sector. Karibu sana, Canon.
Asante sana.
Yes, welcome to Swahili Port FM. And we know you're here because of Pwani Innovation Week.
Yes. I'm here to see the innovations that the Swahili Port has put together for this year. Yes.
Before we talk about Pwani Innovation Week, Reverend, the Deputy President is being impeached. What do you have to say about that?
Yes.
Or rather, has been impeached by the National Assembly.
The process has started.
Yes.
Maybe that's what we need to say. The National Assembly starts. It's more or less like tennis. They kick the ball and then it goes to the court of the Senate. And our constitution, the people wanted to have checks and balances.
Yeah.
So that if someone is leading and they do something wrong, they break ethical standards, they breach the constitution or so on, they are held to account.
Yes.
And Parliament was given that role. So for the executive, the process starts at the National Assembly. So that's what we saw starting for the Deputy President. And now the process has gone to the Senate. So it's a tool that is there for accountability and for, putting people who might have violated the Constitution to account, to wajieleze. And that is what is happening right now. Yes.
Do you think it is right for that motion to be passed right now, with what's happening in our country? Is it appropriate?
Well, the problem with politics is that this government has barely been there for 2 years.
Yes.
So there is a sense in which the timing is wrong. So we have a timing problem, and it's coming at a time when there is a problem in the education sector, a problem in the health sector, a problem in food security in the country, a problem of security in the country. And a time when, if you remember, in 2023, what happened in Kenya is that there was a lot of maandamano.
Yes.
And so many people died. We were told about 60 people died. And then 2024, we have the Gen Z protest in June.
Yeah.
Again, another 60 people died. So at a time when the country is in that kind of a commotion, it was ill-advised for Parliament to initiate such kind of a process, because it causes divisions, it causes disarray, and once that kind of politics begins, then you start having a lot of, things spilling out into the communities.
Yeah.
Basically, you take the political competition and the Mwananchi. And when the Mwananchi are affected, like the way you see, there's a ganging up and siege around the mountain, then people don't think, people don't act rationally, and that division can cause chaos and violence in the future.
Reverend, this government, do you think it is for the people?
Well, it's the people who voted for them.
Good answer.
It's the people. It's the people of Kenya who woke up and went and voted for them.
Yeah.
So there is no way you can dissociate it from the people. But you can say that the policies that this government is implementing are anti-people. Whether you look at it from the education sector, whether you look at it at like the university funding model,
Yes.
the way it is going to deny so many young people a chance to go to university. I look at it and I say, if I was born now, perhaps I would not have gone to the university because I came from a poor background. It was much easier in the past to access university education, for example. The policies that they have brought on board, say on agriculture, where everybody is going to be licensed to keep a chicken, a dog. Well, you can accept a dog, a goat, a cow. You'll get a license and you're going to pay huge amounts of money. For you to access seeds to plant, you're going to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that seed is going to be GMO. Those kind of policies are anti-people.
Yeah.
And that's the message for us as the church we are sending to government. Why are you doing this?
Yes.
If you look at the health sector, for example, we had a system that was running, the NHIF. It has been changed to SHIF, and the transition has been chaotic. We have lost people.
Yeah.
We have that mama who died in Eldoret because she couldn't access kidney treatment, the dialysis. So those kind of things don't give you a lot of confidence. Then for us in the church, NCSK and the Catholic Church and SUPKEM, we had a meeting yesterday at Fungamano. Our hospitals are owed 7 billion shillings by the government of Kenya. They have rendered services, they have given dialysis, they have given medicine, but they have not been paid. So you can imagine how tight it is for them to pay salaries, to buy medicine, and to keep the hospital running. But the government is not doing anything. Even yesterday, they only promised a small amount of money. Actually 1 billion. So you see a lot of unreasonableness on the side of the government in terms of being responsive to the needs of the people.
Yeah.
So that's how you look at it. That's how we look at it. And we think and feel like the government is unresponsive, the government is insensitive, the government is not listening.
Yeah.
And the government is perhaps on a course that will lead only to premium tiers for the people.
Okay. SG, swali langu nitakurudisha nyuma kidogo hapo kwa Rigathi Gachagua, naibu rais. Wewe ni wakili.
Asante.
Makosa 11 yaliratibiwa na yule aliyeongoza mswada wa kumtimua naibu rais. Yale makosa 11 wewe lazima umeyapitia. Ukiangalia hivi, lipo kosa ambalo kwamba limepita threshold ya kwamba hili sasa ili bwana linafaa kwamba litumike kwa huyu Rigathi Gachagua kuondoka tukienda kwa Senate kuanzia kesho?
Tuseme kwamba hata ni wakati mjadala uko mbele ya Senate, sio vizuri kujadili sana kwa sababu inaitangwa anticipating debate.
Yeah.
Na ukiangalia pale kwa profile yangu, mimi nilikuwa clerk County Assembly ya Murang'a. Na pia nilifanya mjadala mmoja wa impeachment wa governor Mwangi wa Iria. So najua hiyo jia yote mpaka mwisho. Tuseme kwamba I don't want to go to the details. Yeah, those reasons for the grounds for impeachment. But I want to make two comments about that. Wakati unangatua mtu ambaye alikuwa elected, alichaguliwa na watu. Watu walienda pale wakapiga kura, wakasema wewe ndiye kiongozi wetu. Lazima ukuwe na very strong reasons. And the constitution inaongea maneno ya gross violations. Gross.
Yes.
You know, hata hapa Swahili Pot huwezi ukafutwa kazi kama hujafanya summary dismissal. You have to have done a gross misconduct.
Yes.
Pengine umekuja hapa sijui kama umekuja mlevi, you know, ama umetukana watu. You know, you have to do something so gross. You know, something that is gross. So, one of the tests that will be applied by the Senate is, are these grounds, each one by one, is it gross enough to warrant the removal of a deputy president? Remember, this is also the first time. So there'll be a lot of restraint on the part of the Senate and also on the part of the courts, because the courts are also going to have their say. So that's the first test. Then the other thing is to ask yourself, all the things that are said there, what is the nexus between the person of the deputy president, DP Gachagua, himself, and those things? Basically, you cannot accuse somebody for things they have not done themselves. You know? So you look at all those grounds and ask yourself, alifanya hizi vitu, yeye mwenyewe. What is the evidence? What is the nexus? What is the orders that he issued, that he had capacity to issue, that were carried out, that made this and this? If it's a statement that he made, is it a statement that violated the Constitution?
Yes.
And so on and so forth. And of course, political accountability doesn't have to violate the Constitution, but impeachment has to violate the Constitution, violate the law, and violate international law. So that nexus is very hard to establish a lot of times. In all the impeachment that I have seen, that becomes very hard to establish. And then also, the first one that I gave, the weight of the accusations. If you don't like somebody, you can't just impeach them because you don't like them. Or you don't like how they dress, or you don't like how they talk, or you get offended when they open their mouth. You know, that kind of a thing does not necessarily... You don't have to love someone. Basically, the Constitution threshold is not about love or liking. It has to be a weighty thing that breaks the law. And that's something that I'm waiting to see how the Senate is going to run with this. And then the final thing is that at the end of the day is the fairness of the process. How fair was the process at the National Assembly? Was it reasonable? Was it arbitrary?
Do you think it was fair? We had 281 voting for it.
Yes, of course. You know, we watched the drama at Parliament, but I think the Parliament had a set mind how they are going to vote in a way. Whether it's the Speaker or the Deputy Speaker or the members, they had pronounced themselves. So it's like, for example, going for a disciplinary committee, and it's our brother here who is going to disciplinary, and you are the chair, and you are the vice, and you have said, anaenda.
Yes.
Even before you have heard them.
Akona makosa.
Akona makosa.
A decision has already been made.
You know, that looks like lynching. So I think even because when Senate and the National Assembly sits, they sit as a tribunal. They sit as a quasi-judicial body.
Yes.
That's something else that parliamentarians perhaps have not understood, this parliament. So, and I think it's Article 165 of the Constitution. The High Court has supervisory jurisdiction. That's a big word to say, power. To basically call out the proceedings of the National Assembly, call up the proceedings of the Senate, and then examine them on the basis, you know, in law, in judicial review, you check against how was the decision reasonable? Was the decision, was the procedure followed? Say the procedure of the National Assembly.
Yes.
You know, was it followed? For example, there is a question about the public participation.
Yes.
You know, it was done quickly. You know, it's like, we should do
Yes.
participation. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
They go out and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you see, even the responses from the Gachagua had not been filed.
Yeah.
So walikuwa wanaenda kuambia watu nini? What were people discussing in the public participation? You know, those are the questions that the court are going to look at.
Okay.
Are they looking at these questions after the Senate, or should they have looked at it after the National Assembly impeached him?
Every stage of these proceedings, including the motion. How was it filed? When was it filed? When how did the National Assembly deal with it? So everything is going to be questioned. And in fact, whatever happened at the National Assembly is basically to initiate. So you could not give it so much weight. But now for the National Assembly, for the Senate,
Yes.
lazima wakae chini kama with a tooth comb, looking at each of those grounds, looking at the evidence tethered by the people who want him impeached. Remember, it is the National Assembly that is prosecuting this matter. Kwa hivyo, wao ni strangers in the Senate. It's the first time this is happening.
Yeah.
So you have a member of the National Assembly in the Senate prosecuting this matter. It's going to be a first.
Evidence of a pickup.
Yeah, that pickup story, of course, is usually just much drama. So the Senate will have to look at all that, and then they have to make a decision on each of them.
Okay.
You know? So those three things are going to be the litmus test.
I just have a very small question on the Religious Organizations Bill of 2024. What is your opinion on the same? Because we've heard a lot from people, the government, the religious leaders.
What have you had?
What does the bill state, Emmanuel?
No, I just heard of it will be a matter of, the religious leaders and institutions see it as a punishment and so on.
Yes, well, that problem has been there, or let me say, the desire by the state to change the law that regulates largely churches. At some point, they were trying to also regulate mosques and so on, but largely it has been a problem within the Christian community. So there has been many initiatives that have failed.
Okay.
Before, many. I've been in this sector for over 20 years, and I've sat in many meetings with the AGs, different AGs, as early as Amos Wako, but they have never come to fruition because there's usually no consensus. All religious societies are registered under the Societies Act. So there is a question whether the Societies Act is adequate for it to regulate the churches. But if you listen keenly, the problem that is within the religious sector is how you control or regulate doctrine. Basically, mhubiri akisimama pale kwa amiba ama kwa pulpit, what is he going to preach? Yeah, when a pastor tells you to panda begu, yeah. So how do you check against that power? Because you'll pandabegu and you'll bring all your property or your salary. Your salary goes to that pastor and so on. So that's the mischief, as we call it in law. So two initiatives were started. One by the Senate, Senator Mugatana, who is also from this region.
Tana River,
and we appeared before him to Kamwelezea. If you look at the Societies Act, it's adequate on the legal requirements, accounts, issues to do with the registration, the persons who are running the church and so on. But it is weak on the doctrine. Basically, what I will preach when I go to the pulpit and what will I tell my followers and so on. And religion is a powerful influence on society. The second initiative was by the president, where he appointed a task force that went around and did a report. It was headed by my predecessor, Mutava Musiemi, and they did a report. The report is available. And they also did a bill. But however, Senator Mugatana went ahead and published his bill ahead of time. So the bill that is in circulation, Senator Mugatana. But it's we told him the intentions were wrong. They were informed by the shock of Shakahola.
Yeah.
And we told him, if you work with chalk, you will not achieve the objectives. So that one we have rejected, and we have said Senator Mugatana should withdraw it and forget about it. The bill that we are keen on is the one that was done by the Mutava Musiemi committee. It introduces self-regulation, especially on the area of doctrine and what you preach. So that if, for example, you want to preach vitu mbaya mbaya, we can summon him and ask him, hey, wacha kupotosha watu.
So who summons him?
There's a commission that is proposed.
I'll take you back
to do that.
Reverend. I'll take you back to this bill that was proposed by Dunstan Mungatana, right? It also proposed that churches should actually pay taxes. And I think that's where the chaos began.
Yes, well, I think Mungatana's bill is wrong, and it is full of vengeance and negativity.
Yes.
And negative energy. It's toxic, to say the least. And we have told him as much, and he should just keep it aside. He's just spoiling for a fight. So when it comes to taxation of churches,
yes,
there are two types of church taxes. The agency taxes, for example, PYE, hizi vitu VAT na kadhalika. Hizo churches pay. If you are employed by a church, even me, we pay all those taxes.
Yeah.
Housing levy,
everything.
This is zingine zimeongezwa siku hizi ni
Zote,
zote NSSF, they pay all that.
Chief.
But the income of the church,
Yeah.
ile sadaka watu wanatoa, hiyo haikuangi taxed. Kwa sababu it's applied for the good of the organization and the good of the country. And that's how the churches have been able to build schools, hospitals and other public utilities, social halls and so on and so forth, which is considered a public good. But what you have to do is to apply for a tax exemption with the KRA, which we apply, and most churches do apply. So the approach has been wrong, because you can't tell people who have given tithes and offerings or sadak in the mosque that at the end of the year or at the end of the month, lazima mpeane 30%. It's corporate tax, so to speak. So I don't think that's fair, and it's not going to happen.
You've also talked about a bill that proposes to control, or rather regulate, what other pastors, what other preachers are teaching. Now, we've all seen what happened with Shakahola, Mackenzie, brainwashing a lot of people. What, for our listeners, because the people who are being brainwashed are the citizens. And these are the people who go to churches, they pray. There's a level of respect that we give to our priests, that we give to our pastors. We'll listen to them, because more like, oh, this is the voice of reason, and I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to do this. At what point should I know that this is wrong? At what point should my antennas be up with my pastor, with my priest, with my church leader? Nowadays they're called moms, dads they're given a lot of names. Yeah. At what point should one be alarmed and say this is not the right direction to go?
Well, that's a very good question. And I think, first of all, every Christian or every Muslim or whatever faith, read the scriptures yourself and understand them. Because the scriptures are very clear and easy to read, and they are available in many languages. So that then you cannot be easily deceived. Then the second thing is, of course, to ask yourself, the church or the place of worship where you go, is there accountability? Who can hold your pastor to account if, for example, they have done something wrong? You need to look for those kind of frameworks. If it's a church that is run by myself and my wife and my children, obviously there's no accountability, whether it's about money. Also look at leadership in that church. Is it chosen by the people or chosen by someone else, or imposed on the people? Because even within the family, people have leverages in terms of questioning and holding to account. Then what is being preached? Is it aligned with the scriptures? Of course, you can't know that unless you have
you read.
deeper understanding of the scriptures yourself. But there are those things like being told that you tithe your car or you tithe all your belongings and then you go there. I mean, all those things that go beyond the normal, those are going to be flags. Then the life of your pastor also, you have to scrutinize it. How does he treat his wife? How does he treat his children? You'll find that a lot of those bad pastors that mislead, they have challenges even managing their homes. The Bible is very clear. The pastor must be a good husband or a good wife or someone who manages his children well. So if there's a problem there, then you're also getting yourself into trouble. So there's telltale signs of those kind of things. And eventually, you'll be able then to pick. The challenge is that sometimes our people are very desperate. Wako desperate, so pengine hauna job, you don't have, you have to do this so that you get a job. Ama unaambiwa uoshwe. You know, we have seen those videos where people are wanaoshwa. Those are things that you should not be done. A pastor should not touch you, for example, in your private parts or, you know, inappropriately. Those kind of things are illegal. Actually, they are criminal. So anything illegal, if your church is doing something illegal, you shouldn't be there in the first place. You should even report it to the police, you know. And so places like Shakahora didn't just happen, you know.
Yes.
A lot of pastors and a lot of people reported them to the security people. So I always say that although Shakahora was shocking after it was discovered, it was not necessarily covered. It was not secret. Najua hata nyinyi pengine mlikuwa mnajua kile kinaendelea huko. So we feel the government failed Kenyans. They should have arrested Mackenzie much earlier.
So it was reported.
Yeah, they knew.
On.
There were reports in the police stations.
Okay. SG. Hapo mahali Miriam ameuliza kwenye hapo misappropriation, si misappropriation actually, misrepresentation ya maneno ya Mungu kwenye vitabu. Ni Quran, ni Biblia, hiyo kuna fine zimependekezwa. Na yule ambaye kwamba atakuwa na run kanisa ambalo halijasajiliwa pia kuna fine kwenye hizo bills. Kuna 5 million ya yule ambaye kwamba atakuwa na run organization ambaye kwamba haijasajiliwa. Kuna 10 million ya ambaye atakuwa anatumia maneno ya Mungu yaliyoko kwenye vitabu vitakatifu kinyume na vile ambavyo anaeleza. 10 million na ama 5 years prison. So do you agree na hizo nani?
Well, I'm against the entire bill. Hiyo ya Senator Mugatana.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you can create a crime, but it will be very hard to prove. If I go and preach, let's say I pick John 3:16 and I go and preach, yeah, you know, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son so that whoever believes shall have eternal life. And I preach. So how do you prove that I have gone out away from the doctrine? Who is going to be the witness in court? And what is going to be the standard for that?
Yeah.
Unless, and that is where now we come in terms of creating that self-regulation mechanism, we can be able to hold you to account and say, okay, because as theologians, we also hold each other. There's a lot of peer review. You know, when you preach, I can tell you, hey, Apo, you went too far. You went outside the box and so on. So these crimes that have been created in the bill, even if it is passed, it's very difficult to prove them. Yeah? It will be very difficult because you will have to interpret or get a theologian to interpret. But now, also theology is very different. The theology of the Catholic Church, the theology of the Methodists, and the Presbyterians, and the Pentecostals is very different.
Okay.
You know, for example, how we interpret baptism, for example. Do you baptize in water? Do you baptize in with a few drop of water on your face? Do you baptize with a flag? You know, all those kind of traditions are there. So you have to understand which tradition this person is operating in. So it's not going to be easy. What we have told the government is when a crime has been committed, yeah, like a pastor has taken away somebody's property or has, taken children out of school to hold them in Shakahola. Those are crimes. charge them with the crimes because they are already there in the penal code.
What other we see a lot of sprouting churches, you know, and of course there are organizations. There are those that you know, but then there are those right next to where you live. Somebody has decided to set up one, and then they're all over the place. How can we best regulate the churches? You know, what's the best way to regulate it to avoid people being misled, and then also to avoid another situation like Shakahola?
I think we have to all work together. As churches, we are working together. At Census-K, we work together, and we don't have those kind of cases in our churches. And mind you, we have 32 churches, some of the oldest, which bring together about 19 million Kenyans. We don't have those kind of cases. Why? Because of peer review that we do to one another. If there is a problem in one church, we are able to sort it out.
Okay.
So we have also to work with government. You know, a lot of religious leaders sit in security committees. They work with the chief, the sub-chief, the DCCs, the county commissioners, all of us. Some even sit in the security committee. So when incidences of challenges like Shakahola happens, they are reported. People raise questions, you know. The children officers, we work together. You know, children who are not going to school because they are going to a religion that says they shouldn't go to school or they shouldn't go to hospital and so on. That's one thing that we have to always do, because it is Nyumba Kumi that actually helps the community, because even the police are not everywhere. But you know, even the ratio between the police officers in the country and pastors, we have more pastors than police officers. So somehow, if we do work together, we can be able to root out those who are evil, those who are doing the wrong things, and so on. The issue is that partnership, and that partnership has been there. We have been able to stop very many cases like those.
Now, because we're winding up, there was a rule that there should be politicking should stop in the churches. You know, that politicians should stop using the pulpit to push their agenda. But we are seeing this back again. We are seeing the same politicians getting into churches, and it ceases being a place for worship, you know. After that, it's just a whole different thing, and everybody pushes their agenda. We just saw last week, over the weekend, the president was in a different church in Kilimani. The deputy president was in a different church, you know, Embu, and everybody has their political agenda. What's going on? Why does the church keep offering its platform to the politicians, you know, to push their agenda? Why can't it just be a space where you come, you worship, finish? If they want to state their agenda, do it palenje.
You know, every country is ruled by taboos and you know, mira na desturi. Not even the law, mira na desturi. You know, there are things that you know you're not supposed to do, not because the law says you shouldn't do, but because you know this is a holy place. For example, you shouldn't do politics in church. But the generation of politicians that we have now, hawana mira na hawana desturi. They don't even know what is taboo. You know? Miko. Inaitwa miko.
Ni miko. Hawana kabisa.
Hawana kabisa.
Hawana.
So someone will go to a church and will insult another from the church. This never used to happen before. So this is a phenomenon that we are also studying, because we have been asking our pastors, and if you look at our website, we have even agreed that when you're ministering to politicians, don't give them the microphone. Yeah? Let them worship like an ordinary member. You know, the way they go to a mosque, and, you know, they are not even given the front place. They just look for the open space. You know? But somehow, our pastors like connecting with powerful people. So they will give them the front seat. They will give them a chance to speak. They will ask them to give money. A lot of money is given in those occasions, because there is a lot of fundraising in churches. And this is something that has made a lot of Christians very angry. So we are discussing with the church leaders to tell them, they'll have to choose one way or the other. Are they going to allow their pulpits and their churches to become a platform for politicians? Are they going to allow politicians who have stolen money, stolen taxes, to come and do laundry? You know, we call them the church becoming a laundromat for cleansing the criminals. When the criminals have stolen, they come to church, they kneel down, they are prayed for, they are laid on hands, so they go on feeling clean, you know. Of course, the church is also a place for sinners and people who have done all the bad things.
Yes.
They come to meet God. So again, you can't block. So it's a seesaw. But it's a phenomenon that is leaving a lot of bad taste in very many people. Actually, in some cases, members of the church are choosing not to go to a church if they know a politician is coming. We are hoping that we'll get some level of consensus and say, let the politicians be treated like everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reverend, did you watch the video of the priest? There's a video that went around on social media the other day.
There are so many videos these
kuna
days.
moja huyu, the president ilikuwa...
Who was talking about thieves.
Thieves.
And the president was seated there.
Alikuwa anasema thieves and the president was seated there. You know, I like the fact that you've mentioned the scripture. And it's like we're using the scripture to, you know, push our agenda. Sindio? When the motion to impeach the deputy president ilikuwa, one of the things that Kibwezi,
Kibwezi West.
Honorable Mutuse.
Yeah, Mutuse.
Kibwezi West.
He said, I don't know if it's him, that if your right
causes
hand,
you to sin.
yes, cut it off, and then the left hand, he quoted the Bible. You know, are we allowed to do this? You know, and misdirect?
It's what I'm talking of. Politicians and leaders who don't have mira na desturi. Hawana miko na
hawana mipaka.
You know, there's some things you don't mention. You don't do. Not because it's illegal. But, you know, those are things that, you know, like calling your mother by name. You know? Those kind of things. Now, where our leadership has reached is they can actually call their mother by name. So when you see a politician standing up and using scripture to justify a very a motion which has nothing to do with that scripture, you know, and when you use the word issue of cutting, you know, removing your eye, you know, you're talking of a human being, and the message you are sending, because, you know, let's also remember this country went through 2007 violence. When genocides happen, they happen like this. The language you are hearing right now in the country is that if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out.
Yep.
You know, the message of plucking out an eye is a very gross, violent process.
Yeah.
Of course, it's here in the scriptures, but it is for sin. It's for figurative messaging, not plucking out a deputy president from his high position of privilege. When you start hearing people characterizing others as animals, for example, a snake or a rat or a cockroach. That's what happened in Rwanda. So, and media houses also play a very big role as they did in Rwanda and as they did here in 2007. You characterize certain people as these rats or this other. So we are praying and hoping that there will be a pullback. But obviously, it is wrong for a member of parliament to use scripture to justify a political action.
Yes. Reverend, now utakuwa leo at the Pwani Innovation Week. What are you doing today? Are you moderating a session? Are you going to give a speech?
Yes, I'm giving a keynote speech. We have worked together with Swahili Pot for maybe about 2 years now.
Yes.
Because for NCSK, we have a very big program around the young people where we are doing coaching, mentoring, and helping with regards to job creation, education. We are big on education. We are also big on health. So we are looking for solutions and what young people have been doing. And this Pwani Innovation Week help us to just see what are young people thinking, what can be done, what's possible. You know, last time I saw a bit of robotics, some processes, some some plans for how you can do irrigation, you know, some of the things that you can use to feed your animals and so on.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to an exciting time where we can see the ideas that young people have. And for us as NCSK, we spend a lot of time with young people.
Yes.
You know, just accompanying them in their journeys into the future, because we believe they are the ones who are holding the key.
Yeah.
As we saw recently in the Gen Z protest, they're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
So what we want is those questions to be answered. So Pwani Innovation is one place where we can't miss.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much, Reverend. You've said, I like when you say they're asking the right questions. And, you know, those are the questions that we're asking as well on Swahili Pot FM. That has been Reverend Canon Chris Kinyanjui Kamau. He's going to be there at Pwani Innovation Week. Do not fail to show up. It started yesterday, going on today. There's more all the way until Friday. All right. Do have a good, no, I'm not saying do have a good morning. We are still here.
Yeah.
You know, we're just taking a break. I'm not saying go. I'm saying stay. Okay. We'll be right back.
Swahili Pot 91.7 FM.
Kwa majina naitwa Idi Rashidi Mwamba. Napenda kusikiliza Swahili Pot FM 91.7. Marhaba.
Pay attention. Mambo vipi Swahili Pot FM? Na enjoy the show na wasikiza kutoka Kuchangamwe. Ni Calvin Opio.
Mjambo, kwa majina naitwa T na wasikiza kutoka mtaa wa Kisauni na napenda show yenu. Asanteni.
Swahili Pot 91.7 FM.
The best radio.
Mombasa. Swahili Pot 91.7 FM.
Kwa majina naitwa Suleiman Kasim Nyeto. Nafanya shughuli ya kuuza samaki biashara. Swahili Pot FM 91.7. Marhaba.
It's Chris with the drama vibe. Kutoka Manzabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, baada ya chali kimoko. Cause I just wanna let them know I'm African beauty. African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty. African beauty. Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Round the world, girl, I've been looking for you. I think I might just find you in Africa. All the beautiful girl, girl, you know the sound when I come around. Lost you in the crowd, girl, pick up your crown. Kutoka Mazabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, atajazi kemoko. Cause I just wanna dance to know African beauty. African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty. African beauty. Oh, love is what I see when I look into your eyes. Tiny cute go wanga navona. And you know I deserve to be the one that takes you high. Timwili chumbani kila kona. Penzi tali pamba ngojera. Uba kama tanga sekera.
Segera, kwa vino vya paikoko kutoka Manzabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, baada ya chali kimoko. Cause I just wanna let them know you're my African beauty. Oh, you're mine, it's your mind, African beauty.
Hadithi utamaduni nyumbani, redio nambari moja ya pwani. Swahili Pot FM, Swahili Pot FM.
Toka mji wa mabaharia, wakaazi na fuo zao, wavuvi wa jadi, maulamaa na malenga, wanazuoni na ngano zao, vijana na usasa, michezo na sanaa, kizazi cha jamvi na hadithi zao, wakwezi wanazi, toka jikoni na madikodiko, sehemu ilosheheni ukarimu. Hii ndo lugha yetu, huu ndo utamaduni wetu. Swahili inatuleta pamoja ndani ya Swahili Pot FM 91.7. Marhaba.
Swahili Pot 91.7 FM.
Oh, it's your boy Savage hapo. Napenda kusikiliza Swahili Pot FM 91.7. Boom, marhaba.
Yo, it's your boy Meka Daniel. Karibuni Swahili Pot 91.7. Ndio nyumbani.
Get ready. Ready for
Pwani Innovation Week is here. This is an event aimed at showcasing and promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in the coastal region.
You know what it is. You know how we live.
Pwani Innovation Week brings together tech enthusiasts, technology experts, startups, entrepreneurs, investors, and other stakeholders to discuss and explore new ideas, technologies, and business models. There will be workshops and training sessions, networking, exhibitions, campus tours, and pitching competitions. To participate, log on to pwaniinnovationweek.co.ke and sign up. Come showcase your products and services from October 14th to 18th at Swahili Pot Hub Foundation.
Go ahead, baby. Yeah.
Waburudani zaidi.
Yeah.
Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love. Hii ni Swahili Pot FM.
Come make this money rain on me. Come make this money rain on me. Come make this money rain on me. Come make this money rain on me.
1, 2, 3, go.
You say you got something on your mind. Love in the club, I'll be waiting you define. Excuse me, sure you know this here. It causing me trouble, so me can no go blind. Darling, she know I feel like to get to know. You know this and that. Darling, sure you know they calling me fine papa. My money not additional. Girl, no to talk. I want show you my baby. Talk true talk. I'm fresh, but you. One who's up, let road for my baby. One's up, no go feed by baby. Girl, no to talk. I want show you my baby. Talk true talk. I'm fresh, but you. One who's up, let road for my baby. One's up, no go feed by baby. get whatever. If you want get whatever, we no manners. Body language at the no translator. Girl, your body telling me she don't wanna keep no manners. Your body speaks to me, you get it. I go respond when you don't feel up for your belly. Under where the league, she do. I'm best shitty. All I'm tears of joy, she could celebrity. Oh, make I know to talk. I wanna show you my baby. Talk true talk. My fresh body meal. On who's up, let road for my baby. What's up, no coffee, baby. Make I know to talk. I wanna show you my baby. Talk true talk, fresh body meal. On who's up, let road for my baby. Who's up, no coffee, baby.
Swahili Pot 91.7 FM Mombasa.
Ukweli kabisa na kukunda jani hapa moyoni peke yako umekaa, you're the only one. Na wataarifu nimempata mwenyewe, huyu ndo ananifaya na nisitake kitu lazima tunipewe, sione na wakataya. Nami naahidi chaguo langu ni wewe, chaguo langu ni wewe. Sina wazai, sina, nitakupenda milele. Pwita, 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 moyo nani pwita, 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 moyo nani pwita, tunaendana, hamwone tukitutazama, tunapendana, minaikufa kuzikana, ananipa tende na mpaka asali. Mpende msipende wala sijali. Nami naahidi chaguo langu ni wewe, chaguo langu ni wewe. Sina wazai, sina, nitakupenda milele. Pwita, pwita, ay jamani, pwita, pwita, pwita mimi, pwita, pwita, moyo nani pwita, 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 ay jamani, ikitaja jina lako, pwita, pwita, moyo nani pwita, pwita. Wacha laiza nibakishie, ay wewe mama.
And that is Zuchu with Puita at 10 minutes past 8. Good morning to you. You're on Swahili Pot FM Breakfast Club. I'm Miriam Angel. I'm here with Emmanuel Gona and Salim Barisa. And I want to tell you about Pwani Innovation Week. It's ongoing. It started yesterday. And today's theme is on participatory governance, emerging tech and innovation.
Oh, wow. Emerging tech and innovation. Uvumbuzi.
So we'll have our chief mentor,
yes,
okay, speaking today. He's going to... today is a day that we're actually launching. Official launch ni leo. Jana ilikuwa ya wana youth kukaribisha watu waje. Today is now the official launch. We're welcoming all the guests that are coming in today. We have Mahmoud Noor, our chief mentor. He's going to welcome our guests. Kalkidan Muluget, that is the board chairperson, Swahili Pot Hub Foundation. She's also going to speak. And there's a clip that will be played by Professor Bitangen Demo, who is the Kenyan ambassador to Belgium. Then there will be keynote addresses by His Excellency Peter Madans, that is the Belgian ambassador to Kenya. His Excellency Al Salman, ambassador Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Reverend Canon Chris Wenyamiko hapa leo, Secretary General National Council of Churches. And then there's Professor Peter Gishangi, who's the Deputy Vice Chancellor at Technical University of Mombasa. Now, there's a conversation that will be going on today, and it will be broadcasted live.
All right.
Tutakuwa pale in TV. So lazima, if you're listening, I would like you to actually just stream. Kama uko mbali na sisi, you can stream. But also, we're going to be live on NTV. The conversation will be on the Gen Z movement in Kenya.
Wow. That's now under governance, right?
That's now under governance now, you know. The Gen Z movement in Kenya, did it have an impact? Did it not have an impact? You know?
Yeah.
What were the goods and the bad side of it? Is there more that can be done? So we'll have youths there. It will be moderated by Michael Onyango. And one of our youths, Esha Mohammed, is going to be there. And then we have Ambassador Peter Madans, that is the Belgian ambassador, also will be speaking on it. And Ambassador Philip Pigo, Executive Director for Africa, Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. This is a conversation worth listening to.
Yeah. I bet that one siwezi kosa. Hiyo na
siwezi kosa.
Hiyo
tutakuwa pale.
Hamwezi kosa.
Hatuwezi kosa. So what you have to do is show up at Pwani Innovation Week, pale at Swahili Pot Hub Foundation. There's a lot happening. There are a lot of exhibitions going on. There are a lot of speeches going on. You will learn and you will be able to network. Toka pale na kitu.
Alafu kando na hiyo sasa waambie hii. Upepo wa karafuu. Marashi.
Oh, the breeze.
Yeah. Yani hapo ukifika hakuna hata cha joto.
Hakuna cha joto, by the way.
Yes.
So yeah, the breeze is amazing.
Utasoma, utaelimika, utapata mtu atakufikisha mahali, lakini na mazingira yenyewe pia nadhifu, safi.
All right.
Yanavutia.
Yeah. So yesterday we had our listener send in a question.
Yeah.
Was it jana?
Jana. Ni jana. Kama hilo swali ambalo walifikiria, nafikiria kwenye kichwa ni hilo ambalo.
Alituma swali gani?
Ni jana. Ni hilo. Gona ni hilo swali. Ni hilo.
There's something our listener said.
Yes.
I'm trying to think about it. But iliendana hivi. Cheating. Right? Is texting a form of cheating?
No.
Alafu Salim akasema, wewe ngoja. I mean,
Salim ako haraka.
Salim akasema texting is not a form of cheating. Emmanuel Emmanuel hata ulikuwa na opinion wewe kweli?
Alisema ni cheating.
Ulisema texting ni cheating. Salim alisema, in fact I'm not going to speak for him. I want him to speak for himself before I really throw him under the bus.
Yeah. Unasahau Husna aliongezea kitu.
Husna said a lot of things.
Yes.
I said a lot of things.
But Salim said one.
But Salim said one.
All of those things is not cheating. Only one.
Ulisema cheating kwako ni gani?
umenipiga fumanizi la kweli. Niko hapo navuja jasho. Hiyo ni cheating. The rest hizo ni subordinate. Hiyo ni kuonea, yuko ni kukandamiza mtu, hiyo.
You know there's physical and then there's emotional cheating. Emotional cheating is when I will give you an example. The way we come to work. Okay, we interact on a daily basis. Bit by bit, mazoea.
Yes.
You start developing some feelings for me.
Yes.
And I start developing feelings for you as well. Okay? So deep down, we know how we feel about each other. You know?
Yes.
But we're talking, we're very sweet around each other and lovey-dovey around each other.
Yes.
But we're not getting intimate, right?
Yes.
What we're doing is we're having certain conversations. We're sending subliminal messages.
Yes.
No. I'm connecting with you emotionally.
Yes.
I'm thinking about you when I leave my house.
Continue.
I think about you nikienda kulala.
Continue.
Unaona, tena niamke asubuhi I spend my day with you.
Yes. So hiyo ni
I'm
cheating.
building something.
Hiyo ni cheating.
Emotionally.
Hiyo ni cheating.
I'm cheating on my partner by the way.
Wewe acha wewe.
Hapo ndo penye kuna kuangana work wife na work husband.
Wacha wewe.
Hiyo cheat vibaya.
Excuse me tafadhali, naomba mniwache.
Uko na work wife.
I can develop one.
You see?
Hakuna hiyo.
Kuna kitu hapa.
No, story gona tafadhali and you are a man. Please,
yes, I am.
You have to be on my side on this case.
No.
Kwa sababu mimi nimekuja hapa, tuko na Miriam, sawa? We have a working relationship,
yes.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
Alafu sasa nimedevelop something. But there is nothing. Sitting with her, walking around with her, tumetoka hapa tumeenda Pwani Innovation Week, tumetoka huko tumeenda, mimi nimefika kwangu, yeye ameenda kwake, amefika, ameniambia amefika. So what's the problem?
Umeona nakwambia nimefika.
Lakini hata unasikia vile Miriam alikuwa anaeleza na wewe ni vitu viwili tofauti. Wewe umeiweka ile tu ni ya kazi because tukitoka hapa tukienda. Unajua kuna
it's the same stuff. My friend, mimi talking to a lady ina hiyo yenye mnaita flirting something.
Mnaita flirting.
Hiyo flirting. As in nikikuona nakwambia manzee leo kameshika.
Akiniona asubuhi ananiletea chocolate.
Yes. So is that cheating?
Akiniona ananiletea cookies.
Usiku akwambia umelala. Anakuongelesha.
When you're getting me this gift, Salim, I start viewing you. I start looking at you in a different way.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
So you're cheating.
Looking at you. We are building something. Tunaanza.
Hamjaanza kucheat lakini mnakaa.
Hapana. Mimi hamtani hiyo box siwezi ingia. Sitaingia hilo box leo.
A question is, what is cheating according to you? What is cheating according to you? 0700917917 or go to our social media handle at Swahilipot FM on Facebook, X and Instagram. What is cheating according to you? Mimi najua kuna emotional cheating. For Salim, it has to be extremely physical.
Yes.
For Gona, you just have to text somebody. Najue una cheat. Where do you stand? Let's talk.
Swahilipot 91.7 FM.
It's your boy Savage hapo. Napenda kusikiliza Swahilipot FM 91.7. Boom, marhaba.
Yo, it's your boy Meka Daniel. Karibuni Swahilipot 91.7. Ndo nyumbani.
Get ready for action.
Pwani Innovation Week is here. This is an event aimed at showcasing and promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in the coastal region.
You know what it is. You know how we live.
Pwani Innovation Week brings together tech enthusiasts, technology experts, startups, entrepreneurs, investors, and other stakeholders to discuss and explore new ideas, technologies, and business models. There will be workshops and training sessions, networking, exhibitions, campus tours, and pitching competitions. To participate, log on to pwaniinnovationweek.co.ke and sign up. Come showcase your products and services from October 14th to 18th at Swahilipot Hub Foundation.
Everybody back.
Swahilipot FM 91.7 Kilifi.
Chasing the low. I know I'm going under. Don't know what lies below. If I stop breathing, baby, you are the reason.
know my heart is broken, pieces right on the floor. Only you can fix me with some sexual healing. Lord, I wanna love you in the morning, love you in the evening. Lord, I wanna love you in the morning, love you in the evening. Morning sex. The sun comes up, the lights go down. You know that I'm right where I wanna be. Till the sun comes up, the lights go down. You know that I'm right where I wanna be.
Cero bulto, cero pepa.